So today's service lifts up the caring ministries of the community, and I want to start with a personal story. I served my parish internship at Cedar Lane UU Church in Bethesda, Maryland. It was a great time to be in the Washington, D.C. area, 2008, 2009. I arrived as the fall color began to glow, much more dramatic than what we have here, even though it isn't quite as spectacular as New England. It was pretty beautiful. As I come to know this congregation and its history, I'm reminded of my first few weeks at Cedar Lane. It is one of the larger congregations in the Unitarian Universalist Association, founded during the ministry of A. Powell Davies at All Souls Unitarian in Washington, D.C. Cedar Lane has a large building designed in the mid-century by Pietro Belluschi, who coincidentally was part of the team that designed St. Mary's Cathedral just up the street from us here. The building has large windows all around with views of Rock Creek Park, spectacular all year round, and birds, bright red cardinals. I had never seen them before, and others who I never learned the names of. There were many important and exciting things to see and do and learn in that area. I enjoyed getting to know a Unitarian Universalist community so different from my home congregation, so large and so far away, and yet familiar in many ways too. I loved the people I worked with, and I felt incredibly lucky to have landed there for my internship. But as the weather turned chilly in October, I was beginning to feel homesick. I missed the Pacific Ocean, my favorite chair, my family, our cat. I missed the balmy fall weather. The office I used at Cedar Lane was around the other side of the building from the main suite of offices, and it was a long way from the furnace. One cold weekday morning, I arrived early and shivering to find a package in my mail cubby. It was a gift from my home congregation, from the Love Wrap ministry, led by my friends Anne and Reba. It was a length of soft fleece in beautiful fall colors with a flaming chalice applique. I felt very moved and grateful to be remembered and embraced by my community in this way. And I wore the love wrap as a shawl for the rest of the day. UUSF has a number of programs under the umbrella of pastoral ministry or caring community. One of them is similar to UU San Mateo's Love Wraps. It's called the Prayer Shawl Ministry. Soft knitted shawls and lap blankets can be provided to those in need of extra tender loving care and support in a challenging time. A member-to-member visiting program connects people unable to get to church for whatever reason, with friendly visitors who can check in with them regularly and help them be in the circle of community from their home. The Cards of Care, Cards of Gratitude program has a table set up in the gallery out here every month on the second Sunday after the service. Blank cards are supplied for messages from the congregation, or you can write to someone you know in the community who might appreciate a note. With the Helping Hands ministry, practical support in the way of rides, meals, connection with services, help with technology can be provided to members by other members. If you need help changing a ceiling light bulb, maybe, or can't get out to do errands for some reason, a list is kept of those willing to be called up when the need arises for one of these services. This is the Heart Ministry, Health, Education, and Advocacy Response Team, Heart. This is a ministry comprised of health professionals among us. On second Sundays, also, they offer blood pressure checks, and they can provide health information and help us understand medical terminology that may be mystifying. Occasionally, they offer workshops on common health-related topics. That's the Heart Ministry. Pastoral listening, as Daniel described, one-on-one, is offered by our ministers and by members of the lay chaplain team. And if you are one of those lay chaplains, I invite you to lift your hand now, just so people can see. I think you have special name tags as well, so people know who you are. Thank you. They are Linda Harris, Gino Fortunato, Liz Strand, Jan Oranger, Lisa Nicole Sarkeesian, Sharon Weld, and Marty Vanderlyn. The lay chaplains receive training, and like ministers, they are committed to a code of ethics. It is a ministry of companionship and witness without advice or judgment. In the movies, chaplains are usually called to deliver bad news or to someone's deathbed. In real life, the pastoral role of a minister or a chaplain encompasses much more than that. We offer compassionate presence to those processing a setback, working through a dilemma, navigating a life passage, or grieving a loss. My portfolio as assistant minister for pastoral care includes adult programming, and I am considering an offering to begin in January. I'm especially interested these days in aging, end-of-life issues, and mental health. And I'd like to hear the kinds of things that you might be interested in as well. I might add that pastoral care ministries serve people of all ages, singles, couples, and families. As I come to know the congregation better, I realize this list of programs could go on and on. There are many caring ministries performed among us each day, quietly and without fanfare. Every expression of concern, every act of service, every offer of care, and every request for help strengthens and deepens our community. Writer Kate Braestrup, a Unitarian Universalist minister and once chaplain for the Maine Warden Service, often dealt with loss and grief. She was called to serve in the most tragic of circumstances. A teenage daughter has disappeared. A husband and father has fallen through thin ice while skating. An unlucky hiker has been caught in bad weather. Sometimes she was asked, where was God in some of the things that happened? Braestrup proposes we look for God in the love and care among human beings responding to each other. A neighbor bringing a plate of brownies to a bereaved family. A pair of life partners enjoying moments of intimacy over their morning coffee. A volunteer delivering books to someone who is homebound. A rescue team searching through the night for a lost child. To say God is love suggests deeds. Love is the true north, center of value and power that shines forth in acts of generosity and kindness. We could do worse than be guided by the images of friendly faces, expressions of concern and loving care. Every Sunday, we reaffirm our covenant to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in freedom, and to help one another. So let me ask you now to call to mind a time, maybe recently, maybe not so recently, a time when you offered help to someone, whether asked or unasked. Let me ask you now to call to mind a time that you have received help from someone, whether or not you asked for it. Let me ask you now to call to mind how it felt to be the helper or the listening ear, how it felt to be the recipient of loving care. Giving and receiving loving attention and assistance is one of the ways we connect with fellow humans, one of the ways we weave the fabric of our community. I need a clear throat for this next part. Please come and find the Caring Community table at the Get Involved Fair. which will happen on October 13th, a week after next, after the service. There are so many ways to participate. We all have special gifts, whether or not we have special skills. Do you like to cook? Can you offer a ride? Do you sew or knit or change light bulbs? Or are you someone who is talented with the evolving technology in our lives? Can you shop a grocery list? There are ongoing opportunities as well as one-at-a-time services. And remember, asking for the help you need is also a way to connect and participate. I close with these words from UU minister Tom Shade. My friends, there is a power at work in the universe. It works through human hands, but it was not made by human hands. It is a creative, sustaining, and transforming power, and we can trust that power with our lives. It will sustain us whenever we take a stand on the side of love, whenever we take a stand for peace and justice, whenever we take a risk. Trust in that power. We are together held by that power. End of quote. As we warm our hearts and lift our spirits in mutual care, as we strengthen our community through our caring ministries, so do we contribute together to a kinder, more inclusive, more just society. May it be so.